My name is Adam, and Jeff Solberg is also here from Butte County Office of Ed. But I want to thank you guys for joining us today, being a part of Yana's presentation. Thank you for joining the Power Conference. Like I said, my name is Adam Fain. I'm from Fresno County Office of Ed. I'll be the room facilitator today. And like I said before, just if you guys could keep yourselves muted, unless Yana instructs you otherwise, that'd be great for us here. But feel free to use the chat, like we said as well. And then I would like to introduce, and she's going to take it over, Yana Mohanty. And she is going to be doing a lot of fun stuff for you guys today. So Yana, it is now turned over to you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I know it's kind of early for a Zoom conference. So it will just start as people are coming in with a little introduction. So let me get back to just a second. Okay, here we go. Please, if you could please introduce yourself in the chat, chat your name and your organization, and if you want, why you decided to attend this workshop. And I'll just be watching the chat and responding and welcoming you to the room. Okay, so we'll just take, and that'll give a few minutes to the people who might still be coming in. So I'll just start. My name is Yana Mohanty, and my company is Imagination LLC. And I decided to teach this workshop because I absolutely love anything that has to do with hands-on and hands-on learning, especially with hands-on math. So that's why I'm doing this. And I'm going to look at the chat now. So I've already met Jeff and Adam, and they're going to be helping us out. Great. Hi, Sabrina. Welcome. And can you please type in the chat which Boys and Girls Club you're part of? I should have probably like which city, because I know now on Zoom we can have people from anywhere. Hi, Mr. Arias. You want to say your first name? South County, San Diego for Sabrina. Okay. Good to have you. Anyone else? Let's see. Oops. Okay, great. They're all coming in like in a spurt. We've got Olga Garcia from Sparks, Calexico. I've attended some previous talks, and I saw a number of you guys from Calexico. It's great. Didn't get a chance to see you 2 years ago when we were at this conference. Juana Valadez passed AmeriCorps at Sherman Elementary in San Diego. Welcome. Darlene Bryan, Mountain Empire Unified School District in San Diego County. And we've got Alexis Arias, ACES tutor at junior high school in the Imperial County. Great, welcome. Just give another minute for people to introduce themselves. I know it's early in the morning. Gerardo Guerrero, and you're also with Sparks in Calexico. Welcome. I just love it that people can join from all over. Jeff is joining us from Butte County near Chico, and Adam, the facilitator, joining us from all the way from Fresno. Cristela, also from Calexico, welcome. Great to have you guys. Okay, so it's 9:05, and we'll get going with the presentation. We have this this presentation on PDF. It was part of the presentation materials, and you're more than welcome to download it now or later, so you have it in front of you. I've got two more people on the chat. We've got Dora from Calexico Sparks. Welcome. Dora was one of my favorite, name of one of my favorite relatives. Okay, yeah, sure. Thank you, Olga, for your note. I totally understand. Next time. Okay. So now I'm gonna close the chat, and okay. And there's also a hexaflexagon template. It sounds like a funny name, that is also online. And it's really not mandatory for you to have it for this talk. But if you feel like following along by, cutting it out, you can, but it's mostly for later. So in this talk, we're gonna do some magic tricks, okay? And I'm gonna throw a lot at you, and I'm not gonna go into like super fine detail. We're not gonna exactly be making them together, but you'll have an overview of what there is and lots of materials to take back with you and do with your kids. And if you want to reach out to me afterwards, I'd love to see how it goes. Okay, so we are going to teach you the secrets behind these magic tricks. And all the, like I said, all the materials will be inside this presentation, which is on the website, and it's also on our website under Flexagons. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to stop the screen share, and the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you a magic trick. And this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the camera so everyone can see. And okay, so here I made a wallet, okay? And I'm going to put a dollar bill, single dollar bill in it, okay? Okay, so note that it's got two compartments. It's in the purple one now, okay? So now I'm going to close it. I'm going to open it. What just happened here? It's under the yellow now. And now it's under the purple. And now it's switched. And now I can take it out completely. I can just start by putting it here. Ooh, it's under the yellow. And now it changed sides again. So take a few moments and type in the chat, what do you think is happening here? Just take a guess. It's magic. Leprechauns. Okay, it would have been leprechauns, but we're 2 days late. But you think they're still in the room somewhere? It could be. Okay, it has two different sides, but it's the same dollar, just a guess. It is the same dollar. That you're correct. So two different sides. So do you think that, well, is the dollar changing sides? Let's see. Let's see. Let's make it so that we can see Mr. Washington on here. So here's Mr. Washington face up. And here he is again, face up. So he's continuing to be face up. Any other guesses about what's going on here? So if you, let's see, oh, here, we have some guesses. The dollar gets flipped to the other side. Okay, that's a really excellent guess. I knew somebody would say that there's more than one bill, because I did a reel and I posted it on Instagram, and that's what somebody was insisting. It's got to be $2 bills. I hate to disappoint you, but there's only one. There's really only one. So that's not the trick. But yeah, and it gets to the other side. Interesting. It gets to the other side. Okay, well, let's see. Let's take a look. I'm going to lower the camera again, and let's see. I think right now, Adam, it looks like you're spotlighted to me. So can everybody see the full screen?
Yes.
Okay, now Olga, thank you, Olga. Now you're spotlighted.
John, I think what you have speaker view turned on, so I think you should be spotlighted for everyone.
Oh, okay. So okay, I see. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, great. Just want to make sure everybody sees me. Okay. So let's see what is happening here in profile. Okay, you see, I'm gonna actually pin myself to the so I can see exactly what I'm showing you. You see these ribbons in profile? This is what is happening. They're connected in this way, in this funny way, and actually the dollar stays on the same side the whole time. And when I'm flipping it over, it looks like it changes to a different side, but it doesn't. Let's put the dollar back in, okay, and see what's happening when I flip. So the dollar, let's make it with Mr. Washington up. Here we go. So Mr. Washington is up. Here's what I'm doing in slow-mo. So I'm going like this, and Mr. Washington is in the same position that he was, except the ribbon changes. He stays on the same side in the same orientation, but the ribbon changes, and then I flip my hands on you and it looked like it's changed sides, but he's still right here with my fingers. See, here my fingers are wiggling. So here's in slow-mo the trick that I'm doing. He's still with my fingers. You can still, he's not going anywhere. You see that? And so he stays. Okay, so that's the trick, but it looks like pure magic, just like Jeff said. So let me go back to the screen share. Okay, here we go. The great news is that the wallet is really easy to make, and I think your kids would really enjoy it. I know my colleague's kid made it, and he's playing with it all the time. It's very easy to make, and you've got all you need is cardboard. And you know, in this day and age, especially, there's lots of cardboard boxes around, and ribbon. And I usually save the ribbon that comes with some packages and keep it all together. And you'll need some glue, and that's it. and the instructions are over here. So basically the ribbon goes just like this, and there's more in the instructions. And then just to make it pretty, so just to make it pretty, I glued the green cardboard over it to make it look like it's, you know, leather or something fancy. Okay, so that's the first trick that we're going to do. And before we go on to show other tricks, I want to talk to you about the benefits of these activities, because they look like they're just like fun, silly activities. And, you know, I'm all for math silliness, but they do have a lot of benefits for the kids. They definitely develop spatial reasoning. And there was a talk earlier by somebody from San Diego County Office of Ed about how important that is for kids. And it's really calming and relaxing, especially, I think it's fair to say that we've all been pretty stressed during the past year, myself definitely included. And there is something really calming about just physical toys. That's why I have fidget toys and, you know, tactile things. They, you know, it does take some fine motor skills in terms of gluing and folding. And those are actually really important for kids to develop these days. So it may be a bit of a challenge, but I think a worthwhile challenge. They will learn STEAM and math through the play. And you know what? You might get a kid who's just really interested in this and wants to know more and just get into it. And there are a lot of materials there, books and stuff like that, where they can go as far as they want. Because that's what we want kids to be able to go into something with as much passion as they have. And the materials, of course, are really available, low cost, and they can do this at home. You can teach this to them and they can do it at home, okay? Because the other tricks I'm gonna show you, all you need for them is paper or cardstock. So, so that's the great thing about it. Okay. Okay, so let me show you the next trick. And these have fancy names. This is a tri-tetraflexagon. So it's actually harder to say than it is to make. So this is the template, and the template is available for you. And these here are called, in origami language, mountain folds and valley folds. And I explained that in the template. Basically, in origami language, I didn't invent this. This is like an internationally a standard language. Let me go back a second. This kind of line is like you making a mountain, so you fold away from yourself. So you fold it under. So imagine if you fold it under, and this is a valley. So you fold it towards yourself, so you're making like a little valley. Okay. So imagine that these purple parts, this part is folded under and this is folded over. So this is a little bit of an exercise in your own spatial reasoning. So why don't you take a minute to think about what you're going to get if you're going to fold it like this. What shape are you going to get? And type your answer into the chat. Oh, a cube. I can see why you would say it's a cube, because a cube has 6 faces, but you're actually, let me make it clear. You fold it under, like into the screen. I should have made it clear. Like you fold it completely flat, like 180. Okay, you want to change your answer? Yeah, you fold it. So we're not making a 3-dimensional thing. You completely folding it under. And this one, you're completely folding it over. So it's going to be some flat thing. Okay, a square, and that's, yeah, it's gonna be a square. So we're gonna, it's, you know, you can do this. It's, and just see what you have, but I think it's a really good exercise to just imagine in your head, like, can you keep track of it? This is part of spatial reasoning, is the visualization. So I will do this part for you. So this is the printable template that you will get from the link. And oh, wait a second. I think I should do a stop screen share because,
Yeah, that'd be great.
yeah.
Thanks, Yana.
Yep. Okay, here we go. So this is what you'll print out from the template. Okay. And so this is a mountain fold. So I'm making like a little mountain. Okay, there's my little mountain. And this is here, I'm making a valley. Okay. Okay. And this is, so what I get is a square. Okay. And then there's a little tab here. See, there's a little tab here. So in all my templates, I have a little tab, and that tells you where the tab goes. So it can, and the place where it goes is indicated here. So it can go either here or here, it doesn't matter. But so then you just take a glue stick, which I hopefully have here. And looks like I forgot my glue stick, but anyway, it would have taken some time. You just, you can use tape, but you know, I prefer glue because it just holds it better and it gives a really clean look after it's done. So after you glue it together, it looks like this. Okay, see, so this one has been glued together. Now, this is not as exciting a trick as the dollar bill, but it just has, so it goes like this. Okay, so here you see two sides, and I printed it on this two-sided, the paper with two colors. It's from Astra Brights. It's more interesting that way. So you fold it, and then it changes color like this. So here it's horizontal, and here, wait, it's horizontal, but it's, so here the pink is on the bottom, and here the pink is on the top. So this is like not a super exciting trick, but the reason I'm doing it is because it actually has a basis for a really important engineering application. And so going back to the presentation here, okay. And this is the great part about this, because it looks like it's all just fun and tricks, but somebody actually applied it to a very high-tech airplane wing. And I'll tell you how I'll tell you that story now. So if you look at the profile view of this, it looks very similar to the wallet. And that's why we start out with a wallet. I'm gonna stop the share. It's called, what's going on here is it has a hinge with a variable axis of rotation. So I'm not going to get too technical here, but I just want you to look at this. You see how it's very similar in profile to the wallet, like this. Okay, here is the wallet. It's almost the same thing. Okay, it looks very similar. And what does it mean? That it's a hinge, right? But it's not a regular hinge, because so this is a regular hinge. This is another one of my cardboard boxes that came from some piece of electronics. So this is a regular hinge, and this is the axis of rotation. It rotates along this pencil and well, along this line, and it's fixed. But here, the hinge, there's no fixed hinge. It varies. So you start rotating it, and in the beginning, it rotates about where my thumbs are. And as I'm doing the rotation, the axis of rotation changes. At some point, it's rotating about this middle. And now it's rotating around where my fingers are. So that's what this is called. This mechanism is called. And, oh, I think I'm not sharing now. Hold on a second. Let me go back to sharing. Okay. So this is the fancy language. And again, you know, the fancy language is just there for kids who really get into it, because I'm a firm believer in kids. If something interests them, they are entitled to have all the materials to learn as much as they want about that thing. But if they're not interested, they can just do tricks, and that's fine too. So here's, so I met a Russian engineer named Alexei Ivchenko. And I met him on Facebook, so we actually never met face to face. And I happen to be a native Russian speaker because I'm from the.
I never had this great one before.
Do you like that?
Mm-hmm.
How does it feel in your throat?
Okay, so we started communicating, and he got me into this whole field. So what he did, you see that hinge that I just demonstrated to you? So here is his implementation. He modified it. He made these little units, so it's not rotating all the way, but again, we have the same idea with that of a hinge with a variable axis of rotation. So here it's rotating around this hinge, and here it's rotating around this hinge, okay? And just a second, yeah. So it's basically, it's essentially just like the wallet. It's essentially just like this, this tri-tetraflexagon that I just showed you. And so he connected a bunch of these guys together. So they flex like this. This is his video, okay? And this is some Russian for you, panel. It means panel. In fact, if you celebrated Pi Day recently, you might recognize this as very similar to the Greek letter pi. So let's play this video, and I'm going to play it. Okay, I was trying to play it full screen, but let's play it. You see that? How there's a whole bunch of them, and they're all flexing together. Can we see that, or should I make it bigger? Should I replay the video? No? Okay. Okay. So basically, he connected. Sorry. Why is there? Oh, sorry. I think that could be. Oh no, sorry about that. That's
if you hit the, you can hit the volume on there if you want to.
Is that me?
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Sorry.
No worries.
Okay. Okay. Let me go back to my PowerPoint. Am I okay? Let me go back. Okay. I think I pressed the YouTube a little too many times. Okay. So okay. So then what he showed you in the video, basically, if you shape the whole thing like an airplane wing, you have yourself an airplane wing that is adaptive, meaning it changes as is required by the weather and stuff like that. And he won an award, and he presented this at this conference where all the is like the greatest European conference in aviation, and so that gives you an example of how something as silly as a children's toy, like a little magic wallet, the principles behind it can be used in a very serious engineering invention. So, and if you're interested, there's an article showing the whole evolution, which I translated from Russian. So I think it's really interesting, and also instructions. So here's our next little tricky thing. It's like it's called a hexaflexagon. So going back to Greek, which seems to be like a little theme here, hexa means 6 in Greek. So you'll see that it has 6 sides. So it's kind of like a fortune teller, but I think it's much better. So watch this. I'm going to stop, and I'll show you my hexaflexagons. Okay, so So look at this. There's a snail, right? And there's something green on the back. And now these are supposed to be a bunch of Easter eggs. And now we have a tree. Look at that. And now we're back to the snail. And now we're back to the eggs. So what's going on here? Here's another one. So this is the one in the picture. So see how it's teal, or let's say turquoise. Turquoise on one side, orange on the other side. Okay, see, it's a hexagon. That's why these are called hexaflexagon, except it's not just any hexagon. It is magic, because I'm going to pinch it and I'm going to open it to reveal another color, which looks like yellow on the screen, but it's actually green. Look at that. So now it's green and teal, and now it's orange and green. Look at that. How fun is that? Now talk about relaxing. Kids love this, and I have to confess that I love it too. A lot of people can be doing this all day. How fun is that? Here's another one that I made. This is like one of my first ones that I made. It's got hearts, see? I decorated it myself. And then it's got like a little squiggle, which you probably can't see. And it's got a turtle on the bottom. Okay, and here's my best one. I'm really showing off here. Jeff is saying something really interesting in the chat about these activities being therapeutic. Yeah, I have watched kids, including really big kids, who just can't get away from this. So here's a little hexagon with two different colors, and then it's got, see, it's got here, you can see it's got the little curlicues and green in the background. And now it's just got the little curlicues like this. Okay, so so how hard it is to make one of these? Thankfully, it's not hard at all. Here we go. Okay. So all you need is paper, glue, and scissors, okay? So this is the template that you have in your presentation, okay? So you're gonna cut it out, okay? And now we're gonna do, I already did a video of that is available to you of how to use this template to make a hexaflexagon. And so what I'm gonna do is just play the YouTube video and then pause to see if you have any questions, because I figured the video will be accessible to you forever. So if you have any questions, that will be me, your reference. So if you have questions about your reference, let's air them out now. And that way you're all good to go once you want to take this to your students, okay? So here's the video, okay? So this is on YouTube, public video. So this is how you make a hexaflexagon, okay?
Hi, Adam, I'm here, and today I'm going to show you how to make a super hexaflexagon just like this. You start by adding out the template. You'll see on your template two kinds of lines. Dashed lines, those are valid folds. And dashed dotted lines, those are non-controlled. And those are all shown in your template. And now we'll be folding along the valley and mounting folds, making sure you fold pretty close to perfect equilateral triangles over time. unfold, and then you fold again, as shown here. So 1, 2, 3, fold. 1, 2, fold. Okay. So now we are at part 3B. So this part, some people find tricky. You see that last triangle is underneath. You're going to bring it to the front. Okay. And then you just want to glue it all together along the shaded tabs. This is it. So note as you go around it, clockwise, every time there's a step down. There's a little step here, see? Step down, step down, step down. That's your head's up.
Okay, so, oops, okay, I need to stop the share. Okay, so I just want to pause a moment to see if anyone has any questions about the hexaflexagon, something, so it's something that that everybody should be able to make with the template that was provided to you. And I just want to emphasize that last bit where I talk about the steps. So well, it's hard to tell in this color. Let me try a different color. So this has what we call in math, rotational symmetry. I'm still searching for the right color that will show up on the screen. So basically the tricky part is that it has to go down a step, down and down. Okay, so it has to look kind of like here, let me put my fingers in it. I think that'll make it better. See how it's kind of like a propeller, like oh, here we go. Okay, finger ballet in Zoom. Wait, let me, okay, you see that? How it goes around like a fan. You see that? So some people might want to make a mistake of having the unders and overs mixed up. So in fact, I'm actually going to destroy this one because I have enough of them. And I'm going to show you what the common mistake is. So the common mistake is to have it like this. See, it doesn't have that propeller thing going for it. So it needs to be like this. Okay. And that's it. So once you have the basics down, you can do whatever you want with it. So here what you can do is you can draw on it. So now I'm going to be really self-conscious and be terrible at drawing. So I'm going to just make something that I can handle, like a little flower. You can do it on one side. Okay. Okay, here we go. So you can draw something, okay, with a stem, okay, and a leaf. And then what you do is you pinch it together like this, okay? And then, and the folds will help you know, you pinch it together along the folds, and then you open and you have a new side. And you can draw something completely different, like some abstract thing, okay? Some Jackson Pollock thing, okay? And then you have a third side, and you can draw something completely different. Like you can have a secret message for someone, like I love you or something. But you can hide it so that they don't see it. See, you can hide it by pinching it and opening it again. Okay, and you can also do something else, like what I've done. You can cut triangles and glue them to these sides instead of drawing. So really you can get very creative and very artistic with this. And it's very much a STEAM topic. You know, it's got everything. It's got the math, it's got the arts, it's got the technology. Okay, so we'll go back to the presentation and let's see.
Hey, Yana,
Yes.
while you are going back to the presentation, I just want to let everybody know I'm going to put the evaluation form in the chat box right now. So if they could fill that out today before 3 o'clock, that would be awesome. And that is it. It's back to you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Adam. Okay. Oh, I better quit the YouTube. Oh, sorry.
As the countdown to Mars continues, the perseverance of humanity launching the next generation of robotic explorers to the red
How did
planet.
this happen? Sorry. I know what the problem is. This is the problem.
There you go.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. So, okay. So we're gonna. Okay. Here we go. So, so we already talked about what we can do with that hexaflexagon. We can draw on it. We can decorate it. And a decoration include, like if you ever worked with a decorative hole puncher, those are a lot of fun. I think you can use it as a fortune teller, but I think it's much more interesting than a fortune teller. And you can write hidden messages on it. Okay. And actually there's a lot of mathematical thinking that goes into the design. Again, going back to spatial reasoning, mathematical thinking is much more than thinking about numbers. And this is the same Flexagon. This is what it looks like unwrapped. So, and here's a picture. So there's actually, I had to think pretty hard because see, I've got this decorative hole puncher here. How am I going to hole punch it? See, it looks very different unfolded than it does folded. When it's all folded together, it's got like nice little, you can call them sixes, 6, 6, 6. And they're all oriented the same way, but unfolded, you have to think ahead of how you're going to punch it so that when you fold it, it all flexes together and looks like that. And the same thing with the triangles. Like how are you going to place those green triangles? So that's really there are a lot of interesting problems, and you can get creative with fractions, with numbers. I mean, there's really no end to how creative you can get with this. And what materials can you use? Well, you can use paper. This is what I did with this one, and I would suggest that you use a heavier paper, like probably 32-pound or 28-pound, because if you use markers, then it'll show through. You can also use cardstock, so that's a heavier paper. Like a 60 or 70 pound. And very soon, you'll be able to do this with geometals. So geometals is something that that some of you may already have in your aftercare centers, or you may have seen it. It's these tiles like this. And we're about to launch these little parts that you attach, and that'll enable you to make hexaflexagons out of the geometals.
Yana, can you stop sharing and show them those geometals one more time?
Sure. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And so these are the tiles, like they come in different shapes that you may have seen. Some of the YMCAs have them. And the part that we're introducing is these white parts that will enable you to make hexaflexagons out of them. And let me show you how such a hexaflexagon would work. So let me shift the focus to the desk. So it's like this. You see, it's yellow, green, orange, green, and then you can flex it, and voila, yellow, orange, and flex it again. So this is really like a fidget toy that could be really fun if you have the geometals in your center. So another way that you can make these is, let's see. Okay, you can make these out of tortillas. So I think this is the coolest thing since sliced bread, no pun intended. So watch this. So here's, we're gonna do, let's see, how much time do we have? We have, yeah, so watch this. She's gonna make a hexaflexagon tortilla. So I haven't gotten around to this. And honestly, I have, my preference is for corn tortillas rather than flour ones. And I don't think you can make this out of a corn tortilla, but watch this. This is really cool.
It begins with a large tortilla. Cut a strip from the middle where it's widest and free this long rectangle from the useless wedges that surround it. This is how we start our journey towards creating the perfect food. The hardest part is folding an angle of equal thirds, but if you folded a piece of paper into thirds for a letter or pamphlet, you know the principle. Approximate and then adjust until you reach a goal.
So I just want to pause slightly here. This is some great math here. We omitted this part completely with the templates because I just wanted you to quickly be able to do it. But she talks in several of her videos about how to make a perfect equilateral triangle.
In the case of the tortilla, to get an equilateral triangle, you fold an angle rather than an edge. Be sure your folds meet at a point, one corner of a triangle. Unlike paper, the soft and delicious tortilla is forgiving, adjusting easily rather than creasing and crumpling. Continue folding one triangle on top of another. Pinch each fold to give it a crease. 10 triangles are necessary. Remove the extra. Arrange the strip of triangles into a hexagon. Note that the folds naturally want to go the same way you creased them. This will help you to arrange the overlap so that it is symmetric, woven together in the same way you would fold the flaps on top of a box to support each other. In paper, I might use 9 triangles and then a piece of tape. For tortilla, use 10 and attach the first to the last. Score the tortilla lightly with a knife to rough it up and then use your fingers to wet it with water. The water combines with the flour in the tortilla, and by pressing the triangles firmly to one another, they are effectively glued together. Thus, a tortilla hexaflexagon is created. It can be flexed by pinching 2 triangles together and pushing in the opposite side to get a flat 3-armed shape, then opening up the inside. However, it is imperfect, for it is not yet delicious. Luckily, there are several sophisticated tools with which to remedy this problem.
Oh, I'm sorry, did I stop
The
it?
first of which is guacamole. I start with the easily spreadable ingredients, which can be folded flat into the hexaflexagon. Flex it by lifting the 3 parts with the flappy foldy creases and fold them to the inside. Then the bottom can be opened up, and the flexagon is once again ready to be piled with delicious ingredients, the precious guacamole being stowed safely within the folds. After adding beans and cheese, your hexaflexamexagon is ready for consumption. To eat, flex only halfway and bite the delicious exposed triangular pockets of Flex-Mex perfection. As you can see, the ingredients tend to leak slightly out of the folds of the flexagon. This is expected and unavoidable, as the nature of the burrito is to be a delicious leaking mess, regardless of whether it is cylindrical or hexaflexagonal. As your next Flex-Mex project, consider the humble crane guarding her flavorful nest.
Okay, how funny was that? So here's another use of the hexaflexagon that I think is just hilarious. Just wanting to that looked good. I know, it's like, aren't you glad this is in the morning and not at 11:30? Then it would just be like, where's my avocado? Just to wrap up. Just to wrap up, everything can be found on this link. And also all the materials can be found, including the presentation on the materials at the conference on SCED. And I'd love to hear from you about how these things go. This is how you can reach me. And I hope you flex, relax, and enjoy. And feel free to sign up for our newsletter if you want to hear about more funny things that we come up with. And also something that occurred to me last night, if one of these activities, I know I threw a lot at you, really interests you, then feel free to reach out to me, and maybe I could do like a Zoom session with demonstrating one thing, like a hexaflexagon lesson or something like that for just your center. Okay. Thank you so much for attending our workshop. This was fun. If any last minute, let's see, how are we doing? We have no time, but yeah, I'd love to hear back from you. Thank you.